What's up, you guys? I hope y'all doing well today. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Nia. And today, you guys, we're going to be doing the Proverbs 31 Bible study. I'm sure y'all have heard about the Proverbs 31 woman. Many of y'all might know about her, but I really wanted to go in detail about this woman because, a lot of people talk about her or they refer to the Proverb 31 woman when they, say what a woman should embody. What should a woman be, so to say. So we want to see what is this lady about? Who is she? And what does she do that's so good that everybody keeps talking about? So we want to read about her. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video, you guys, because as women, as people, period, as men and women, we all should be working to become a better version of ourselves, period. Y'all know I'm an advocate of growing, prospering, becoming better on a mental, physical, spiritual, financial, overall. Your overall well-being just needs to elevate. As you're growing in age, so should everything about you. Your spiritual growth should be growing. Your mental growth should be growing. Your financials should be growing. Your everything should be thriving, growing, getting watered, getting poured into, getting rid of what's no longer serving you, getting rid of those weeds, get rid of the poison, and overflowing it with nutrients, good herbs, good things that are substantial to a prosperous life for you and your children and your family. And as much as we, everybody talk about the Jezebel, and we're gonna talk about Jezebel. We're gonna talk about her in another video. But I was just wanted to do this because I'm actually working on my lust outline, because that lust video is coming up, and y'all know that one is going to get real. Y'all know I don't do surface level, I don't do shallow talk. We gonna get down and dirty with that video. So as I was working on that one, I came across this. I was like, let me do the Proverbs 31 woman. Let's see what she was about before we, get into all the bad spirits, because we talk a lot about bad stuff. But let's talk about some good traits. Let's teach us how to be good and not so focused only on the bad. You know, so we want to read about her. We're gonna read Proverbs 31, like I said, so that we can just learn how to become better women, better mothers, and just become that role model that we need to be. A lot of us have daughters and sons. If you're a mother, especially, or if you plan to become a mother, you want to embody these traits because your children are looking up to you. And as women, what we need to understand is we have extreme power. We really rule the world. If you look out into the world, everything is about women. When you go into the stores, who are they targeting? Commercials, everything, these corporations, who's making the corporations rich? Women are. When you go out to the stores, women might be shopping for their households, for their men, but 9 times out of 10, even if their man is providing or whatever, he's giving her a allotted amount to go out there and shop. Or even if it's her own money, she's going out there to shop to make her household better, to make the house feel like a home, to buy the kids what they need, and to buy the family what they need, to provide organization and structure and flow, ease and flow for the home. That's what a woman's job is to do. And this is what, we're going to read about what she did. But we need to also understand that we are our children's first role model. It's not the teachers. It's not the rappers. It's not the girl rappers, the guy rappers. It's not the singers. It's not the Beyoncés. They don't know nothing about them people until us as parents present them to them, or when they get out into the world and their friends and peers and siblings. Siblings to older siblings or older cousins or whoever introduce them to what they are been experiencing with the rappers and celebrities and all of that has extra influence on them. But you, as their parent, as their mom, is the first role model. And we talk a lot about these guys out here and how they don't like women, and even how a lot of women, we got issues with other women because we know how women are. We know that every woman is not a good woman. Every woman's not a good woman, and every mother is not a good mother. Yeah, you may try your best, but and some don't try their best. Some think that solely providing materialistic things, providing food, shelter, and water and clothing made them a great parent. That's what they feel. But you got men out here and women too who are suffering tremendous emotional neglect, and a lot of other intricacies that play into why there's this disconnect between the genders, disconnect between men and women, disconnect between parent child. It's a lot that plays into that. But we need to understand that we're our children's first role models. So if we don't have good relationships with our daughters, if we're not good role models to our daughters, we're teaching them what to be because they're looking up to you, because all they know is mommy. A lot of us, especially as a single parent, all your children know is you. Even if you're not, you're the parents that are in the household, all they know is their parents. And as children, you grow up, you idolize your parents. Your parents are your first idol because that's who you see. That's all you know. We determine what's normal for a child by what they see in our household, and how they hear us talk, how they see us move, if we clean, if we dirty, if we keep ourselves together, how we talk to other people, how we treat other people with our manners, respect. We teach them that by what they see us do. They're sponges. They're mimicking our behaviors. This is why it's important for us to be cognizant of what we're doing in front of our children, because they are watching. They can be sitting there acting like they're playing toys or whatnot, but they're watching. They're watching how you do everything. They're watching. Okay? They're watching. Your boys are watching and your girls. So you set the tone for how men view women, because their mother, for a boy, that's your first love. For a little girl, her daddy is her first real love. Both parents are both sexes' first loves. You show them how their dad shows them how a man should treat you. And the women, as mothers, you show them how a woman should treat you. So if you got a mom who's negligent, who doesn't care, who's just all about herself, who, don't have no couth about herself, who just bring different guys in and out, who do all of these things, who just so provocative, so all of these things that, we can be. We're showing that to our sons. And a lot of times they'll go out here and date women like it, or they'll despise those women that are just like that, because you remind them just of their mom. You remind them in those ways. And a lot of times some of these men don't like the way that their mom has treated them or the things she's allowed to happen. It's so many nuances to it, but they'll see that, and then that'll be like, okay, I want the complete opposite of that. Some of them want the complete opposite. Some of them are seeking revenge on their mom through other women. So when they see a woman that's acting like their mom, they might get with her just to get back at her, because to them, getting at her and destroying that woman is also like getting back at their mom. Some women, like even how in the book, how, for the men that Isaac and Rebecca told Esau and Jacob, Esau told Esau, I don't know if it's Esau or Esau, but told Esau and Jacob not to marry with those Canaanite women. And because of the disdain that Esau had for his dad and for his mom, for so-called giving, Jacob what was his birthright and whatnot, because of his so-called disdain for him for that, he purposely went against what they told. They enforced and reinforced time and time again, don't date these kind of women. These women do these wicked type of things. We don't want that wicked in our blood. We don't want that wicked mixed in, intermarried into our families. God repeatedly have told every last man in this book, every last one, to not intermarry with those Canaanite women, because they serve foreign gods. And those wicked women will come to have you doing wicked and turning against me as your father, as your leader, as your God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They're going to have you to turn away from me and start to sin and do abominable things in the eyes of the Lord. So a lot of them, to get back, like Esau, to get back at his mom and dad for what he deemed as unfair and was not the right thing to do with, he's the eldest and he's supposed to have the birthright or whatnot, even though that's the whole that's the whole thing in itself. In which we'll, as time go on, we're gonna be doing more videos on that stuff. It's like I'm really doing a lot of reading, you guys. This stuff is so, it's just so much. But to get back at him, to get back at his parents, he went and got with those women that he told, that they said not to get with, you know? So they end up getting with those Jezebelish women, those Delilah women, them foreign women that serve foreign gods, and they do it on purpose. Just like a lot of Black women that are mothers. You really don't, and this is no offense to if you are, you know, a white woman watching this. It's no offense to you, but a lot of Black women don't want their sons dating white women. And it's that same aspect. And some of these Black men, they know that they can't bring her home to mama because mama ain't with that because of the history, because of our history. And the same with white girls who go get Black men. They purposely spite their parents, knowing that their parents don't like Black men or whatever, or, you know, all the different ways that go with that, because different cultures and stuff. Some Indians don't like, nobody really like you to get with a Black woman or a Black man, or everybody, they don't want you to get with, you know, and we ain't supposed to mix breed anyway. That's God's law. So take that up with God, and that's the main reason we ain't supposed to do it. We're not supposed to be mixing breed in the first place. However, they'll go after these women or these men on purpose because of, you know, maybe it's a fetish, maybe they just trying to get back at their mom for, you know, they feel like you betrayed me when I was a kid. You left me for, you know, this person, that person, you neglected me. So it's like, okay, my payback is doing something that you don't agree with because you did things that I didn't like. So I'm gonna do things that you don't like. And we have to understand that this is what happens. And when you are the role model for your children, they have high expectations for you, and you let them down, you're hurting them. You're doing them a disservice. So that's why I do my videos, so that collectively we can become better people. Are we ever going to be perfect? No, because we're made of flesh. And if you're not working every day, even when you are working every day, it's very easy to succumb to the desires of the flesh, because the flesh is eager for what it wants, for what seems good. This is why you have to go off of your spirit. You have to be getting spiritually fed. And this is why I always say, read your Bible, because when you feeling dismayed, when you feeling like, you know, you got whatever addictions, or when you feeling low, every time, I'm just telling you because this is my experience, because I had a situation last night, you know, I'm just having a moment, it just come over you. It's like the enemy want to come in, distract you, take you off what you're doing, and get you to thinking about stuff, and think about what you don't have, and what you lost, and think about all of that, and then it'll have you trying to go back when and as soon as you get into your book, it just be like, all right, it's humbling. God gonna always lead you to something in here to humble you, especially the book of Proverbs. You want to get humbled? Read the book of Proverbs. It's gonna humble you real quick. It's gonna bring you back to homeostasis and be like, okay, I'm sorry, God. It's gonna make you repent. It's gonna make you repent. I'm telling you. You know, it's gonna humble you. But without further ado, because y'all know I get to talking. One thing about me is I will talk. I don't talk that much, but I do talk a lot. It's like I don't talk a lot, but I do talk a lot. So let's get to reading, y'all. So it says Proverbs 31, sayings of King Lemuel. I don't know who Lemuel is. It says, because I didn't read, like I never, through the reading that I have done in the Bible, I haven't read much about him. And before I get into it, I do want to say we're going to do a video about the godly man too. I'm trying to figure out who really is godly in the Bible from what I have read so far. But I really love Joseph. Like Joseph has been my favorite since I first started reading the Bible. I love Joseph. Just the fact that he turned down that woman, that Potiphar's wife, who was trying to seduce him, and you know that she's the reason he got thrown into jail and everything. A woman like her, which is a wicked woman, a Jezebel, you're married and you up here trying to sleep with the servant or whatever Joseph's that ranking was then. He was a slave. Like they sold him, they bought him. Like, you're trying to sleep with this man. And through all that happened, he still was favored. It all happened for a reason, but I love how he was just rejecting her. Like, and a lot of men don't know how to turn down. They can't turn down that when a woman seduces him, he can't. We're gonna be talking about this in the next video. You can't turn down. You can't turn it down. You gotta know how to be like, nah, baby, nah, we don't do that. You gotta have some integrity. You gotta have a moral compass, men and women. You can't be a woman that's throwing yourself at somebody else, man. That's not cool. It's not cool to be a side chick. It's not cool to play second best. It don't matter what he's telling you, what dreams he's selling you. It does not matter. It is not okay to do that. It is not okay to go get pregnant by a man that you know has another family, you know, that's still living with the woman. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. But this guy Lemuel, it says Lemuel, however you pronounce Lemuel, is the name of a biblical king mentioned in Proverbs 31:4, but whose identity remains uncertain. Speculation exists and proposes that Lemuel should be identified with Solomon or Hezekiah, while others think that he may be a king of Massa. So it says, he is not in any recorded listing of the kings of Judah or Israel, so he was probably a pagan king who put his trust in Yahweh, the covenant God of Israel, and through the fear of the Lord learned wisdom, which can be true. So we shall see. But I'm in Kings now, still doing my Kings Bible study, and I'm listing out all the kings of Israel and the kings of Judah, and then the other kings that are from other nations as well. And I haven't seen his name come up yet. So we shall see. But we know that King Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs. He wrote the book of Proverbs, and I don't know if he wrote this before he did his wicked stuff with marrying all those women that God told him not to marry with, and turned his heart away from the Lord and started to build those high places to those foreign gods and start to bring that demonic worship into the Israelites' life before he got the rain taken from him and all of that. So I don't know if he wrote this before or after. Maybe he learned this lesson, or if he wrote it before. But I know when I was reading about King Solomon in Kings, it was saying in there how he wrote with this. He wrote the songs of Solomon, and he did the wisdom of Solomon or something like that. And that's what this is. Where's my little, because I had a paper. My door be in here, that's what I said. Because I had a little paper that I had wrote down the books of him, the Acts of Solomon and the Psalms of Solomon. I don't know if those were the same. So yeah, but Solomon is who wrote this Proverbs. And it's some good wisdom. Like, when I tell you, you want to get good wisdom, you need to go read that book of Proverbs. And we're gonna be doing videos of the whole entire Bible. I don't know. Part of me want to do like a real breakdown of every single part of the Bible. But if I do that, that might end up being on my Patreon. I think I'm going to do like in depth on there. But YouTube gonna get certain Bible studies, and then we gonna see. I'm trying to really plan this out or whatever. But anyways, let's get to it. So it says, the sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. Listen, my son, listen, son of my womb. So I'm reading from the NIV version just because it's easier to read. Especially like just for understanding. I know a lot of people read from NIV version. So I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments which version of the Bible y'all be reading from, and which version do y'all prefer me read from? Because I have the King James version of the Bible. I read from both because I like to compare them to see. They'll switch out different words in them, and that's a whole nother thing because yeah. But that's why I read from both, because it's through reading both that gives me ultimate clarity that I need when it comes to certain things. But we're going to read from NIV. So it says, the sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. Listen, my son, listen, son of my womb. Listen, my son, the answer to my prayers. Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. So this is the mom giving her son some sound wisdom. And as mothers, it is your job to give your children sound wisdom. It's your job to give them the game. You give them the game. You set them up for a bright future by letting them know what to expect of women out here. You're a woman. You know how other women are out here. You know how other women are. You know, and if you don't know, then you know, period. You know. But if you don't know, you will learn because you've learned through your own experiences with women, whether it's with the women in your family, whether it's with your friends that you've met in school, even just associates, even just other peers that just was at school with you. You see how the girls treated you. You know, we see what's going on out here with friends, the Shanquella Robinson story, and many other women like her. Your own friends set you up. Your own friends envy you. We know how women get down. And this is why I say not all women are good women. So we got to cut that narrative. We got to cut the narrative that all women and all of this, and I'm a girl's girl. I'm not a girl's girl. I'm for what's right. Man or woman, I'm for moral compass, integrity. Who's right, who's wrong. I judge, righteous judgment, as it say right here in Proverbs 31, verse 9, that we'll get to in a minute. But to judge righteously and judge fairly, you know. So if I ever become a therapist and you and your man come sit down with me, baby, don't think I'm just gonna be on your side because you're a woman. Because if you're wrong, I'm calling you out, and if he wrong, I'm calling whoever is wrong out. And both of y'all might be wrong in certain degrees. And then we got to figure out, okay, you did this that was wrong. What you did caused this person to act like that, and what you did caused her to act like this. So if you don't do that no more, and if you don't do that no more, we can have an amicable party, baby. Like, come on now. Like I told y'all in that other video, stuff don't have to be that hard. We make stuff more harder than it has to be because of selfishness. Period. That's all it is. Ultimately, that's all it is. It's a lot of selfishness. All right. So he said the advice that she gave him was, do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. Meaning, teach your sons, women gonna be there. The coochie gonna be there today, tomorrow, 30 years from now. Coochie is everlasting. As long as it's women, as long as we keep reproducing women, as long as the women is on this earth, baby, the coochie gonna be there. It's gonna be there. Don't ruin everything you have chasing coochie. Don't intermarry with certain type of women who are only after you for what you have worked hard for, and then they are them Jezebel spirited women, which are demonic entities who love to steal, kill, and destroy. And then everything that you worked hard for, who, like she said, the vigor on those who ruin kings, meaning they want to debunk you from your throne, like Jezebel did Ahab, which is, we talking about the women today, and we're gonna talk about that in that video because we just got a lot to talk about. Because it's a lot of Ahabs. These men are so weak for women, and this is why I say women, we really have more power than we know. A lot of women are so weak and desperate for a man, but they just as desperate. Adam was desperate for Eve. Oh, he couldn't. He was so sad. Oh, well, everybody has something. You made a counterpart for all the animals, Father God, but you didn't make anything for me. I'm just lonely. I have no one. And I think Nancy started messing with them animals. I ain't gonna hold you. I really believe Adam is the first one who was messing with animals first, before them fallen angels dropped down and started causing everybody to intermingle and breed against the way they were supposed to, and man having relations with the animals and all that. I think Adam was the first one. We're gonna see, because I still gotta read that too. That's what I'm saying. It's so in depth. I gotta read the first and second book, Adam and Eve. I have that book, and I have to read that too. I got a lot of reading. So I've been ordering a lot of books because I got a lot of reading I need to do. And this is a new thing for me, just collecting books, because I ultimately want to read them all. Because reading it brings more wisdom and it brings understanding and it helps build your vocabulary. And it's good to read. That's what understanding is. The more I read, the more I'm getting the education I need for understanding the nature of man and woman and who we are and, where it stems from, a lot of this. But don't spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. You spending your whole life, you spending the best of your years chasing coochie. Teach your sons the same as this lady is teaching her son. Don't spend all your time. Y'all need to focus. Surely as women are focusing on their education, you need to make sure you focusing too. Go get your education, son. Go to school, get the tutors, get your children the help that they need. Get them in the special courses that they need. Get them. Tell them, even if they don't want to go to college, get you a trade. Learn a skill. Even if you got to get on YouTube University, you can learn anything on YouTube University. This is the beauty of it. Take full advantage of your resources. Teach your sons how to do this. Even if you're a single mom and they don't have no dad around, teach them. Put them in front of other men online that have some noble character about themselves, at least from what they present on here, and can teach them something. If they don't have a man in their life, make them get on here. Instead of playing video game all day, no, get on here and watch these men on here change a tire. And then if you need practice, come practice on my dang on vehicle. You need to learn how to do this. It's no excuse just because they don't have a man around. We have the opportunities to put them in position. And even if they don't have a physical man, YouTube University, you got the men on here that's teaching them how to do that stuff. Teach your son how to be different from the rest. You don't want them to be like the Pookies. You want them to have one up. You want them to have that king statue to themselves, like to have those characteristics. But like she said, don't spend your strength. Don't spend all your time. Don't waste your time trying to do all of this for certain type of women. You got to be able to judge a woman. Teach your sons not to be so promiscuous. Protect your sons too, in a sense, when they're young. Don't be allowing just anybody to be with them just because they want to be a father figure and they come around putting this lustful spirit on them because of what they're doing to them. And y'all know we're going to talk about that in a lust video. But if you know what I'm talking about. Because it's so much depth to what be causing these men to do certain things that they do. But sometimes it's in men nature. They wake up on the hard. A lot of them, they wake up on the hard. So teach them how to have continence though, because if you don't have self-control, you will put yourself in situations that will only lead to your demise. You will keep falling and busting your butt too as a man. You will keep getting stepped on. You will get betrayed by these women if you don't have discernment yourself and have good judgment for the women that you too are out here choosing. So if you're a man watching this is another reason why you need to be watching this video, so you learn what to look for in a woman. Because of so many men, it's just sad to see. They spend their whole life chasing coochie. You've been chasing it all your teenage years, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, 50s, 60s. Then you done screwed over all these women. Then you get to 60 years old, you ain't got nobody. And now you feeling like, Adam, I'm going to be alone. And then you get to projecting that onto the women. Because ultimately, men, it's not good that men be alone. It's not good for men to have so much idle time, because when you have idle time, you get yourself into things that you shouldn't, that can lead to destruction. Men and women. An idle mind is the devil's playground, period. You want to have something to focus on so that you're not getting yourself into trouble, so that you're not letting these lustful spirits and all these spirits lead you to a life that going to lead you to a bunch of shame and regret. So you don't want to do it. You just don't want to put yourself in those situations. You want to take preventative measures in life and not have to do so much, learning from all these mistakes. Even though that's the best teacher, your best teacher is the experiences you go through, taking the L's, failing, getting back up, failing, getting back up, learning the lesson from the failure, because simply failing and getting back up and then doing the same thing again, that's what they will call foolish. In the book of Proverbs, that's what makes a fool. To keep doing the same things over and over again and not changing nothing up, not getting no introspect on what has happened, and not to see, where things went wrong. What can you do differently? And not blaming everybody else for everything. You take accountability too. Yes, this person might have been a little bit, more toxic maybe, but what about you? What is it about you that allowed it for so long? How could you nip that in the bud the next go around? If you get another person that's had these red flags, what could you do to make sure that you're not allowing all of that from the get-go, so that it won't have the ability to manifest into more and more evil for you? So you have to really be accountable with these things. So it's saying, it's not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed, and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. So she's basically telling her son, don't be a drinking. Don't be a drunkard. Don't be out here just drinking. She said, it is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed. Because when you get drunk, your moral compass go out the way. That when the reason they call it spirits, what is it called at the store? Spirits. It be saying spirits, liquor, spirits, beer, and more, something like that. Like you'll see the title at the liquor stores. Especially what's that one called? I think it's called like Total Wine or something like that. I don't know. I've seen several liquor stores that have that title. This other one that's down here, I forgot what's, but it says spirits. It puts these spirits on you. Look at what happens when you get drunk. Sometimes you got anger that come out. Sometimes you get the just going off with anybody. It puts you in a state where you're not clear-minded. You don't have a sober mind. Sober isn't only about being drunk, because many people that don't drink or smoke or do any drugs still don't have a sober mind, because they have a bunch of thoughts of the past that's lingering around up here that they can't escape. They have the spirit of depression and anxiety on them, so they can't get out of the funk. They can't come up out of the past about things that has happened to them. So their mind is still not clear. They're still not vigilant to things that are around them. So, when you talk about being sober minded, it's not just about drinking, but that is a big one. But it's ultimately having a clear, sound mind. Because when you have a clear mind, when you don't have that much fog up here, because even when you online too much, or like just the light from the computer and phone, when you on here too much and you in social media too much and you scrolling, I noticed that if I get on like TikTok or something like that, that's why I can't be on these sites that like move fast like that, and that it's just information overload. You be in one person's video, then as soon as you scroll to the next, it's just too much overstimulation. It up here, it starts to get foggy. It's just like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like clogged. It starts, I'll be like, whoo, I gotta clear my mind. Get off this stuff. Go outside for a walk. Get out in nature. Nature, every time I'm feeling like discombobulated in here and just feeling like it's tight and it's tension and it just feels staticky in here. I have to get outside, go walk in the nature. Don't be on my phone or nothing. Just walk. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm outside walking, I be just talking to God, looking at the nature, like looking around, just soaking it all up. It just be so beautiful. I just love nature. It's just so refreshing. I thank God every day for his creation, because it's so refreshing. I love it. It's refreshing. But yeah, drinking that stuff, it puts spirits on you. You get to getting horny, you get to getting depressed. Some people drink to escape from their problems and the thoughts of their past, but all they do is sit there and make you get into more of a funk. So it says they drink and forget what has been decreed. You'll get drunk and then you forget what you were told to do. You forget, your moral compass go out the way. You get easily seduced, easily enticed. You get easily betrayed that way. You got people around you that's drunk. They get to stealing from you. They get to messing around. Y'all know I can just go into depth about every single thing. But let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Because a lot of things happen in childhood to people from having drunken parents, having all these rendezvous, getting drunk. Then you get to doing stuff. But like I said, we're gonna really talk about that in the last video, because that stuff causes you to get horny and do things. And now you got these children here, these unwanted children. You have unwanted diseases. You have a bunch of chaos that comes along with this type of behavior. DUIs, taking other people's lives because of the spirit that was on you through drinking like this. Now you didn't committed a sin of unaliving somebody because of your drunkenness, not having clear mind. You thinking the light was green. You didn't even pay attention that it was a red light. You just kept going through the light, not knowing that it was, you're just not clear-minded. You're not observing. You're not seeing. Your eye senses and your hearing senses is thrown off. It's been perverted, which means to be manipulated. What it's normally used for, when you put those spirits on you, it's like an obstruction in a way, and it completely throws you off. When you're not drunk, you can see clearly. You know that this is a green light, this is a red light, and I'm more alert and paying attention, and I know what I'm hearing, versus when you're drunk, anything will sound good. Anybody can whisper in your ear, tell you something. Like, it's easy for that's how you let the devil in. That's a good, great way to let the devil in, is when you are drunk and not of a sober mind. You're not clear-minded. You're not level-headed. And I'm going to just do a separate video on being sober, because everybody take that scripture and really think that it's only talking about drunkenness. When if you read the extra context, the sentences before that verse, the sentences after it, in certain, which I think was it Peter? Because it says it in Proverbs and in Peter, about the drunkenness. I mean, about being sober-minded. And if you look at that, you'll see, I mean, if you read it, you'll see that it's not only talking about drunkenness, because being sober means just to have a clear mind. I don't drink or smoke. Well, I don't smoke no more, but I never really drunk. And the time I have drunk, that's a whole nother story. But you don't have a clear mind when you're drunk. You don't even remember certain things. And I ain't like that. That's why I said, drinking. I don't even like how it make me feel. My stomach be hurting. I'll be nauseous, throwing up the next day. Who wants to feel like that? That's horrible. I don't want to be puking all over the place and passed out, dead weight. Anything can happen to you. That's not cool. It's not cool. So I don't really like that. Being all, nah. But let's keep going, because y'all know I get to talking about every dang on thing. So it says, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. So this is that speak up and judge righteously. In NIV, it says judge fairly. In KJV, it says open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Open thy mouth for the dumb, and the cause of all such are as appointed to destruction. So speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what I do a lot of. I'm an advocate. I speak up for people who are afraid to speak up about certain topics, who don't, who certain topics that's taboo. I'm talking about it. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. I don't care who like it, who don't like it. It's getting talked about today. It's getting talked about. Let's discuss it. Ain't no, keep it private. Nah, negative. Not around here. We're going to talk about it, Pooh. You don't want to talk about it, then it shouldn't be getting done. Anything that you shameful of talking about, it shouldn't be done then. And you wouldn't have no shame in your game. And even if you do it, who cares? We care. But when you know that, you got to understand that you're human. That's why stop having so much shame. This is why when you talk about things, it reduces that shame in you. It reduces it. because you're able to talk about it. You're able to not have that, like it's not so, oh, it's a secret, gotta keep it in. Oh, you don't easily able to get blackmailed. When you're not keeping in all of this, other people can't use stuff against you. You can't blackmail me with nothing. Because I already talked about it to my own self. I already didn't express it, already didn't confess my sins to the Lord. Me and him already discussed everything. I ain't ashamed no more when I have been vocal about what has already been done. You know, but that's why I speak up for those who can't speak for themselves, who's scared to speak for themselves. And I encourage you to speak up for yourself. If you can't advocate for yourself, how are you going to be able to advocate for your children? How are you going to? You need to be able to speak up for yourself so you don't get walked all over. You're not a doormat. You don't deserve to get walked all over by nobody. I don't care what their title is. You are human. You're worthy of respect as a human. You're worthy of kindness. Let's say that. Because to me, respect is totally different than kindness. I feel like everyone deserves kindness. Everyone deserves some grace to a degree, but you must still get chastised. Because when you're wrong, you need to know that, baby, that's wrong. You can't just do that. That's not okay to do. Okay? Don't do that. But it's not like you just hold it over their head and be like, oh, no. Nah, you human. You made a mistake. Okay. Don't do it again. Try not to do it again. It might be hard, but you need to try harder not to do it. You need to try harder. And then speak up and judge righteously. That's what I'm about. Yes, I'm judgmental. I'm always going to be judging. I'm judge. I'm an INFJ. That's a part of my personality. That's one of my personalities. It's INFJ, which is we're counselors and advocates. Like I told y'all in one of my videos that I recently had learned that a couple months ago about the INFJ personality. And the Myers-Briggs is 16 different personalities. And the INFJ is one of the rare personalities. It affects about like 1 to 2% of the population. And, you know, I am that. We're intuitive. So it's about intuition. What does it stand for? Intuitive, intuition, introvert. So introvert, intuitive, which is being in touch with your feelings. So that's INFJ, justice, judgment, all of that. That's who I am. And that's why we make advocates, counselors, because we like to speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. We have a moral compass. This is right. This is wrong. We're very assertive. We about our business, baby. We're about our business. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the praise for a good wife. But basically, reading that part was a mom, a caring mom that wants the best for her son. So now she's giving her son advice on what not to do on his behalf, and she's giving him instruction, giving him sound wisdom. So with the sound wisdom that she has given him, if he walk in the ways of that his mama told him, he will naturally pick him up, this virtuous woman that the Proverb 31 woman is about to discuss. So, and the one thing that I do, I guess we're gonna talk about this and what a godly man is. So I'm not gonna go back on that because we'll talk about that when we do the godly man video. And before I had wrote down, what does godly mean? Godly means conforming to the laws and wishes of God, coming from God, the divine, having an inward devotion for God that is outwardly displayed. So she's taught her son how to have that godliness to him. How to have standards, how to, be a kind man, be also a noble man. Don't just use your power and your authority and weaponize it, but have some meekness to you as well, and stand up for things that are right and call out things that are wrong. Don't just be I saw it and I ain't saying nothing and I'm just gonna stand there and let that wicked stuff happen. No, have some manners. Have some couth about yourself. So it says, what is the Proverb 31 woman? Okay. So it says, A wife of noble character who can find. She is worth far more than rubies. So the first thing they say, so the Proverbs 31 woman, she's a noble woman. She's a virtuous woman. What does virtuous mean? So I got some definitions here for us. So virtuous means having or showing high moral standards. Chaste, typically used of a woman. And chaste means abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse. It means to not have any sexual nature or intention. And it also means not having unnecessary ornamentation, which means not being so flashy and bedazzled, not being attention seeking with, all the stuff, with the all the fancy stuff that we like, all the bling bling, all the piercings and, all your hair and bright this, bringing anything that just draws a lot of attention to yourself. The BBLs, all of that stuff. Those are ornaments, things that add to you, additions to you. So to be chaste means to be simple, restrained, just reserved, just not doing too much. But it's we women, we like things. Like I love my nails. I ain't had my nails on because I just had to order me some more monomer. I'm definitely putting my nails back on because I love my nails. I love having nails. But this little thing is cool too. But this polish stuff keep coming off of here, and I'm tired of painting my nails over. So I just like my nails. And I like my nose ring too. So, but they say just not to have too much going on. Overly, with the makeup and the lashes, the extraness that we like to do. It's okay to do it sometimes. It's cool, but to put that whole facade on every day, it's not real to who you are. It's not truly you in the first place. So it's okay to get cute up sometimes because some men out here really do like that stuff. Like I have several men that compliment me on my nails. I have several men, they compliment men are men. But even when I used to wear lipstick, like when I was in, I don't know if y'all know, but when I was in college, like high school to college, the color lipsticks was a thing. And I used to have all the color lipstick. I would wear the green lipstick. I wear the blue lipstick. I wear pink, red, orange. I wear all the color lipsticks. So I would wear all of that stuff. And some people don't like it. Some people do. But when I used to work at Macy's, I always had mine, because we wore all black. So I need something to pop this all black. I got to have my cute all black stuff. And then, we got to have some lip on. So I had several men that just liked my lipstick and stuff too. Even I had white men that would be like, how they be like, that's fun. They like, that's some fun colors. Or they'll be like, they say they little stuff. But it doesn't mean that they even trying to get with you, but they just like, that's different. Because sometimes they'll have their kids with them, especially like their little girls, and they be like, I like your lipstick. So, but all of that stuff, it draws attention to you. You ain't supposed to do too much stuff that draw too much attention to you. And that's why I think a lot of the men these days talk about all of the stuff that they sit on here rambling on, nagging about when they podcast, because they don't want to be put in a position where they have to get violent necessarily, because if you with a certain type of a woman and she got a big booty and all this flashy thing, it's going to bring attention to her. And some of these men might have no respect for the man that she's with, and he might try to catcall her or say something about her or be staring her down. And now her man gonna have to get defensive, and now he gonna be in there swapping it out with him because of how his woman is presenting. This is why some cultures, they make their women cover up. You don't need to see her beauty. Only I get to see her beauty. So I get that. I get it. Okay, y'all. So we was on the first one, being virtuous, being chaste, not being so flashy and bedazzled, not having ornamentation. And ornamentation is things added to something to provide decoration, the action of decorating something to make it more elaborate. So being flashy like we be doing. Like in when we do the Judgment of Zion video, y'all gotta go read that section of the Bible. I don't know exactly where it's at, but probably while I'm editing the video, I'll put the put it up there for y'all. But y'all gotta go read that part of Judgment Design because it was so funny when I was, in my wilderness season, and that was God led me to read the Judgment of the Daughters of Zion, and it was to humble me as well. One thing about it, God is going to humble you. You don't have to get humble from the world because God is going to humble you. You don't got to worry about nobody else. You might take nobody else's criticism. You might be resistant to what your man's saying. You might be resistant to whatever. But God is going to humble you. When he led me to that, I said, I did a whole video on that, but I ain't never posted. But I'm gonna redo it again. But he had humbled me. He took away your tinkling ornaments because he was talking about how the daughters of Zion walk around with their stiff necks and they tinkling ornaments. And look, that's what the modern day girls do. That's why I really have to do that video because the modern day girls, that's what they do. So flashy, especially the IG girls, the it girls, the that girls. We walk around here with our hair, our long weaves, our long braids, or even if it's a short style, you get your hair done every week, you got your nails going, you got your chains, your rings, your bags, your shoes, your BBLs, your flat tummies, your perky brush, you got all these tinkling ornaments, these accessories, these things that make you look more elaborate. And you get these things and then you start to get on your high horse and I'm stuck up. Like the most recent thing they was talking about with the list going around, I guess, about eating, about places you can go on a first date. Like some women say you can't go to Cheesecake Factory and stuff like that on a first date. I'm like, y'all be child. If he want to take me to Cheesecake Factory, even though I don't really like everything at Cheesecake Factory, I think the only thing I ate was like, I don't even really remember. It's been a long time since I've been to Cheesecake Factory. I, of course, love the cheesecake, even though it's not enough graham cracker. I love cheesecake with a lot of graham cracker on the bottom. But baby, I'm gonna eat. That's one thing my man gotta do is feed me. So I don't care where we go. Like, feed me. Feed me. Okay. And my first BD, he was like that. Like, even my second one, like, we ain't start off going to the fanciest, but as time went on, they was naturally just taking me there. Maybe trying to fill you out too to see what you about, to make sure you ain't just using them. They have feelings too. We think that they don't, but they do have feelings. They do have feelings. So I saw that little thing going around about they can't take them there because you get this stiff neck about you. You get to a certain level and you feel like you so cute and you done made so much money and you make this and you have these materialisms and I got this and I got that. So, oh no, he can't do this. Oh no. And of course I do get it to a degree because we do feel like, shoot, if I can take myself to a nice dinner date and spend a bag, just me and my homegirls, me and my girls, we can go drop a bag like it's nothing. But here you go, come complaining about this and that. It's like, ugh. So I get it from both sides, but you gotta understand, people be wanting to just fill you out. So, but when you really like a person, or when you getting to know a person, you can't expect so much of them off the rip. They don't know you. They don't know if you're gonna be around long term. Like, you can't be expecting all of that from somebody off the rip. So anyways, so it says her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her so that he shall have no need of spoil you, which means she's trustworthy. A Proverbs 31 woman is trustworthy. So right now we have the first two. She's of noble character, so she has moral compass. She shows fine personal qualities or high moral principles and ideals. That's what noble means. Virtuous, having or showing high moral standards. She has standards. She's not just going for anything. She has a great personality. She has those attributes to her. She's trustworthy. Her husband can trust her. He knows that he can go out here and provide. He can bring the money home, and she's not going to just take everything out of the account and go spend it on ornaments, tinkling things, bags and shoes and purses and BS. He knows that she's going to he can trust her. The one story I just saw on Twisted Crimes the other day, the girl. So the man then bought this house. He was out of jail, whatever. He probably, how they do, hiding. They take they trap life and want to hide the money under some legality things. And sometimes they can't put stuff in their name because of what they got going on in their life. So they put it in a woman name. A lot of them use women to cover them up, to be be their cover up in a lot of different ways. But in this way, we're talking about the financial aspect. So the guy, he married this woman, put the house in her name, his property, he put it in her name, and he got locked back up. While he's locked up, this girl said she didn't want to be with him no more, got a new man, took over his property. I think she sold the property. Did she sell it? Child, then she got the flaunt and the new man to him while he's in jail. So he's hurt. His ego is crushed. I mean, in this situation, and it's not to say that she necessarily deserved it, but because I'm a righteous judger, and I do believe that you must reap what you sow, and you cannot do certain stuff like that. You have to have a moral compass to yourself. You can't be so eager about greed and money and success, and then you think you're gonna take what's another's man. You're not fair. That's why even with divorce, people get so nasty in divorces and in breakups. It's like, bruh, be fair. Be fair. Oh, I just be feeling like, I don't know if that's the Libra in me with the balance thing. I have a lot of Libra in my chart. I'm a Virgo, and people say this stuff don't mean nothing, but it really does. It really has true depth because I'm just so about balance. Like, and Libra is supposed to be a balance, and I have a lot of Libra in my chart. And that's why I just say it should, like, if you have some like fairness to you, it's just like stuff don't have to go the way it goes. But he got out. He told that girl, "I'm going to do like you throwing this nigga in my face. You doing this, and you took like you got my property. You did like you really doing this to me. I'm gonna get you." He like y'all gotta watch the video. And Lord and behold, he done got her down, offed her in the head while she was at the barbershop with her son. He didn't care. He got that girl. And it's not to saying it had to go that far, but you reap what you sow. You cannot be out here doing people all type of ways, men or women. Men have feelings too. Women have feelings, men have feelings too. Men are taught to hide theirs, to act like it's not there. And this is why, because they're so busy suppressing, this is why it comes out in anger. This is why they got to get it off through having all this sex all over the place. They got to get the frustrations out. What goes in, what's in the inside has to come out. And it will 9 times out of 10 come out through your behavior. You cannot do people like that. So that girl with that video, he married a woman that he couldn't have full confidence in her. You want your man to trust you. Not only trust you with his possessions, his material possessions, trust you with his heart, trust you with his secrets, trust you with his vulnerabilities. Be that safe space for him. The same way we want our men to be the safe space for us. You want to be vulnerable with him. You want to know that you can trust him emotionally. Know that things that you confide in him about, things that you address to him, that he's going to find a way to give you that reassurance, to make you feel safe, to know he hears you, he's listening to you. Just by the things he do to show, oh, he was listening to me when I said this a couple months ago. And now here come my birthday, or here come just randomly. Now he come do this, or he heard what I was talking about, the kind of long week I had. So now he show up with flowers just because, or, men want the same thing. Oh, I'm complaining about what I'm going through at work. So when I come home, maybe you got a bath waiting for me too. Maybe you going to give me a massage tonight. Maybe you going to help, you going to look out for me too. I can trust you too. I can trust you. I can know that you're not going to go running telling your homegirls everything that's going on in our relationship. Now, because it's levels to this stuff. If you in some really toxic stuff, baby, you need to be telling somebody and get your way up out of that. But if certain things should just be between you and your partner. Your family members, the whole congregation don't got to know. Your whole family don't got. Some stuff, it just should be between you and your partner. It's like an intimacy in that. Like it's sacred. Um, you know, you don't gotta tell your homegirls every sexual thing you do to your man. You ain't gotta tell the internet every sexual thing you do to your man. Like everything don't gotta be on the table for discussion when it comes to necessarily how you please your partner and how he please you, because that too will breed envy. Will breed envy from these other people who don't get what you get, and then they'll want your spot. Then they'll be trying to seduce your man or try to convince you to leave your man or leave your woman so they can pick up and get that. Or even if they don't try to get her or get with her because they can't get with her or can't get with him, they'll just want you to come over into misery with them so that you can now have a, a misery party with them. What did Scrappy call them girls? I forgot what he called his the tight face crew. Scrappy off Love and Hip Hop. They said he had called. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop no more, but on Instagram I had seen everybody was talking about. He was calling his Bambi, his ex wife, the tight face crew. Her, Erica Mena, and was it Sierra? Because all of them was going through man issues at the same time and all of this. So now they all linking up together. You know how women do. You mad at your man, I'm mad at my man. Let's get together and let's trash men. That's what type of stuff that women be on, and men do too. All you gonna do is let's get together and that's now like the men to be doing with these podcasts these days. Let's have a hate train. All these women rejected us. All these women did this. Let's get together and all be bitter men together. Come on in. So it says she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. You know, she's a safe place for him. Like I said, she's trustworthy. He can trust her. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. So she chooses great things of great quality. She wants the best for her man. She wants the best for her family. It's quality over quantity for her. Not just about how many pieces of clothing she could buy you, but even if she could only get you one piece of clothing or two, she wants it to be durable. She wants it to have longevity. She wants it to be of good quality. It's going to last through this season, that season, that season. You can have it for years on and it's not going to get messed up. She's going to buy you quality things. She's going to provide quality life for you, even if it's not just buying things. And works with eager hands. You know, she's happy to be your helpmate. She's happy to help you. She's happy to provide a better quality of life for you too. She's happy to make your home a peaceful place. She's happy to do that. She's happy to provide quality. Wool and flax is of quality. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She's resourceful. She says she is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She is like the merchant ship. Okay, they say the same thing here. She's resourceful. What do our merchant ships do? Without our ships, baby, we won't be eating all this stuff. We won't have all these tinkling ornaments and all this stuff that we have because these ships transport our trains, they transport things from overseas to us so that we can have the things that we don't have here. They make it out for us in China and ship it over here and all of that. And all these other countries that transport the agriculture and everything. It's resourceful. We use what we have and we transport it from here to there. You know, she's going to make a way out of nowhere. She's going to go far to get the quality foods for you. She's going to provide quality for you. She wants you to eat healthy. So she's going to cook you healthier meals. She's going to show you ways to limit your stress. She's going to reduce stress for you. She's going to point you into, hey, babe, maybe we should do this. Maybe you should read this book. Maybe we should go to this class together. Maybe we should, maybe you should just relax today. You've been working hard all week. Kick your feet up, relax. Let me bring you, like I'm going to serve you too. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family. So at night, she's up making sure before she go to bed, the house is clean, the kids are good, they fed, they prepared for tomorrow, their lunch is packed for school. She done read them bedtime stories. She done got their uniforms and outfits laid out. She got your stuff on. She got the kids' stuff on. She's up making sure that things are prepared for the next day. She's a prepared woman. She's prudent. She thinks ahead. She's forward thinking. She's quick. She's quick witted. She's sharp. She's quick on her feet. She's thinking about things that you might even be thinking about. And that's why I say the benefit of having two equally yoked quality partners, because things that a man think about is not always things that a woman think about, and vice versa. Men more like logic. Women we're not always so logical, but we have our intuition. So even though it's something might be a logical sense for him, we feel it, and we have the intuition within us, and we're like, babe, I'm not getting a good feeling about that, and we be right. Okay. So it's like, if we balance off each other and work together, stop trying to work against one another, we will be winning, especially in our community. We will be winning if we learn that sometimes my man is right. I mean, he's right in this situation, especially for them, because a lot of men don't like to listen to their woman. But if another man go out here and say this mess to you, you gonna come back and tell me this, as if I ain't already tell you that. You know how we could have had this solved last week? We could have been on this last week had you listened to the advice I gave you last week, versus you having to wait out here and go listen to Boo the Fool out here give you this same old advice too, because you don't want to listen to it from your woman. Trust your woman. If she really care about you, she not gonna lead you astray. Just like if he really care about you, he's not gonna lead you astray. He not telling you that stuff to be controlling. She not telling you that stuff to be controlling. They care about you. When somebody cares about you, sometimes it do seem like it's tough love. Sometimes it do seem like, oh, you just don't want me to have no fun. No, it's that I know what's gonna come along with that, and I'm trying to spare you because I love you, baby. That's it. I ain't trying to be your mama. I ain't trying to be your daddy. It's just love. I care about you. I'm on what's best for you. So, but being the stiff necks that we be sometimes, men and women, sometimes we just gotta learn the hard way. And it is what it is. And you'll come back and be like, I should have listened to you. Now I see what you were saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. While you out here listening to all these other people, they don't have a woman like you, sir. You need to be grateful, because your daddy, he wish he had a me. Period. Your mama wish she was me. So, let's get going, because y'all know I get that going in on people. She says she gets up while it's still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. So she's looking out for everybody that's on the team, everybody that's on payroll, everybody that's in her village. She making sure everybody's good. She making sure everybody's good. She's a helpmate. That's what her job is to do. She is to help her husband, help her counter. She's supposed to help him. She's up at night getting stuff together. He working all day to provide for the family. She up all night figuring, all right, what we gonna do? All right, let me get his lunch packed for tomorrow. Let me make peace for my man. Make more peace. Let me create ease and flow within my house. This is why I do believe a woman is supposed to be in the house, baby. I love being in the house. I want to take care of my house. You please go out there and make all the money. And I like making my own money too, only because I don't want nobody ever be able to hold nothing over me, because these men, they be providers sometimes. They get to start weaponizing their providing tactics with their provider nature. They get to weaponizing that. Now they want to control and, all of that. So it's like, nah, you're not going to put me in a position where you can starve or feed me now. And you're not going to be able to start disrespecting me and doing this and doing that and thinking just because you provide now I got to stay and deal with that, because I don't, because you're going to put some respect on my name. I understand you providing, but also look what I do too. Okay? I create the ease and flow for you, baby. Okay? I not only make sure you pleased sexually, you're pleased and all. I make life easier for you. I bring organization and management to your life. So yeah, you out here making the money, but I'm your manager on the back end, baby. Okay? We about to get into this. So, it says She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So once again, she's observant. She considers a field and buys it. She's planning for the future. She's prudent. She's forward thinking. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So once again, she's investing. What she makes, everything she makes, or everything that comes in the house, she's not just spending it all up. She's allotting certain things. She's saying this is for savings. This is our emergency savings. This is for investment for the children's college, or this is for our expenses, for bills and extracurriculars that the kids do. This is for our investments. This is for vacation. She's managing. She's creating different pools, different portfolios for different things. She's making use of. She's spreading her money out. Everything ain't just going into looking good and all that. Nah, this is for this. This is for that. She provides organization. What else did I want to say? And that's what prudent is. Prudent is acting with or showing care and thought for the future. Okay. She's quick-witted. So I got down a couple words that, I was like, okay, these are good words to describe this woman here. She is judicious, shrewd. She's having, showing, or done with good judgment or sense. She's astute, which is the same thing. She's able to accurately assess situations or people and turn this to one's advantage. She's wise. Okay, y'all. Yeah, my eyes is dark. I ain't been sleeping that much. I be up just reading, just doing, like last night I was just up reading stuff, and because I really like to be reading at night when the kids be asleep, so I be up. I ain't go to sleep till I keep doing it, and then the next day I be waking up tired. And then we was sick the other day. We all had the stomach bug. It just been a mess. So the girl been catching up, taking some naps during the day. Then I end up being up again at night and all that and all that. So I'm a little dark under here, you guys. But yeah, so a couple things, like she's wise. She, has experience, showing experience, knowledge, and good judgment. She responds sensibly or shrewdly to a particular situation, having knowledge in a specified subject. She's alert to or aware of things that are going on around her. She's paying attention to the needs of her family. She's observant. She's paying attention. She's intelligent. She has the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. That's what intelligence is. She is able to vary. Intelligent is also able to vary its state or action in response to varying situations, varying requirements, and past experience, which is the ability to process thoughts, behavior, to evaluate situations. So that's ultimately what intelligence is. And having discernment, she's able to make good judgment. Based off what she sees, what she's hearing, based off she's able to comprehend and make a decision based on not everything that is obscure, meaning things that are hidden, things that are not spoken of. Your man or your kids, your family, they don't necessarily have to tell you that they're in pain, or they don't necessarily have to tell you that they had a bad day. You could just sense the vibe. It's like a vibe check. You pick up on, hey babe, your head down today, your shoulders down. You're not, your posture ain't the way it normally is, or you dragging your feet, or your face looking a little down. Like, what's up with you, boo? That ain't normally how you looking. Who did this to you? What's up? What I need to do? Who I need to get on at that job? It's like, that's how you're like, you messing with my man. Don't you mess with my man at this job, girl. Or sir, rather, because y'all know, especially for our Black men, like I know I had to deal with that a lot with my first BD. Like they threatened by him. He's very intimidating. My first BD is pretty intimidating. We intimidating to each other because I could be a little intimidating too. And it's just because we assertive and we know what we want, we know what we're dealing with, we know what we're not dealing with. So it's actually funny because he dealt with that a lot at his jobs. Like he's a threat to, that's because he on his stuff. Like he was young and he got a bunch of skills and he know his stuff. Like, so you can't easily just finesse him, and he not settling for anything. He not gonna let you tell him he gotta cut his hair. None of that. He know his worth. He know what he brings to the table. So it's like, you know, and when you know what you about, it is that people be intimidated by that. And especially as a black man, these men, a black man that is intellectual, smart, got direction, has vision, you know, he got standards, he's righteous. You ain't putting up with any and everything. So you're a threat to the white man. You're a threat to him. And they'll do anything to try to take you off your high horse. You know, so then that's why they say they come home and they do want peace in the home. They don't want to come home to no nagging woman. He out here facing challenges every day. He got to be amongst other wolves every day. And, you know, in a world, it's like they out to get the man. They want to humble the man. They want to never let him have the high self-esteem that he should have for himself. They want them to feel low. So he don't want to come home and have to deal with a nagging woman, a dirty house, untamed kids. I get that because you want peace. Just like as women that are single mothers and stuff, and you come home from work, you know how at least my mama, when she don't want to come home from work to a dirty kitchen, dirty house. I had that house clean. My brother ain't had to do that, but it's cool. I had to sweep the steps, mop the front foyer, clean the bathroom, and then he had the nerve to come shave his stinking little hair and leave the hairs there. I'm never gonna forget that day. He pissed me off that day. I got so mad. I just cleaned up this whole house, and you gonna come in here and shave this mess and leave some scrapings of hair here, sir? Nuh-uh. I was so mad that time. Like, but I made sure the kitchen clean. When my mama get home, she don't want no dirty house. She don't want no dirty kitchen. As a provider, you out here working, you dealing with bosses that are, y'all know how it is. So even men feel like that. They out here facing this at the workplace, some things that they never even tell you about because they don't want you to even know that somebody even tried to play them. And you know, they got these egos about themselves and this toxic masculinity, and you know, they don't want you to even know somebody even play with them like that. So they can't even come home and really vent to you about how this man played with him, and how he had to just sit there and take it because he needed a job so he could provide for his family and woo. So the last thing they want to do is come home and having somebody else tearing them down too. That's supposed to be their woman. That's supposed to be their safe place. The one they're supposed to be feel safe with. Like it said, the heart of her husband does safely trust in her so that he should have no need of spoil, so that he's not ruined. You know, they don't want to be with a foolish woman, which is in the book of Proverbs, a foolish woman who tears down her own household basically with her bare hands. With her own hands, she will tear down her own house because she don't know her position. She don't know how to just chill. She let her insecurities get the best of her. You know, she let her mouth. She don't know how to pick her battles wisely either. You know, one thing I've had to learn, and that I really learned with being with my first BD, is, for one, the difference between a provider and a non-provider, and then the ways that you have to deal with certain men, especially because most men are narcissists, you know. So when you got a man, you got to know how to deal with them. You gotta, some battles you do have to, which is why I think I just don't want no relationships, because baby, it is tough. Okay, it is tough because they just, child. But it ain't necessarily that they're bad. Like all of them are bad guys. All narcissists aren't bad guys. If he's sadistic and narcissist, which is levels to it, but all narcissists aren't sadistic. People just throw the term narcissism around, not knowing that narcissism is strictly selfishness. It's strict, like I did in that God is a Narcissist video. It's selfishness. But now if he's sadistic with it and he don't want to pour into you, and he don't do nothing for you, and he make you feel like you just a slave and all of this stuff, that's different. But anyhow, girl, we ain't about to go into all that right now. I forgot why I left off at, but he wants to trust you too. You know, we all going through things out here in the world. Just being humans in the world, especially when you're Black, being out in the world, we all facing stuff. Just like as a woman, you dealing with stuff, scrutiny at the workplace because of your hair, or because of your appearance, or because you don't look like the white woman looks, and or you might be thicker. I remember when I was working at the IKEA call center when I was younger. It was when I was pregnant with my first daughter, and one of the girls I was friends with, she's thick, she's shapy, like so they would mess with the lady would pick one of the like managers or something, which was another Black woman who was also thin, would pick on her about what she's wearing, which also, when you got a shape, it is certain you might have to go a little longer because your shape makes things look more, it puts emphasis on your body, on all your attributes. It puts emphasis on that. So you might have to wear something a little longer. But was she picking on her? Really, she was probably jealous of her, really, because she had a banging body. Body always banging, and it's natural. She got a naturally banging body. And you hating on her, and all the other girl in here, she wear the little short stuff too. It's a couple of them that wear the little stuff, but you complaining about hers because she's shapy and you can see it and you're actually threatened by it. Like, so we deal with stuff in the workplace too. And then when you got to come home and deal with a man that's criticizing your appearance all the time too, or making you feel like it's hard out here for women too. It's hard out here for us. You comparing yourself against the other women out here, and then you got your men out here that's looking at these type of women, so you competing against them and all of this. So that's why all that BBL and plain Jane and all this mess that they got talking about out here on these social sites. It's competitive. It's competitive. But baby, child, y'all can have that, because I'm gonna do me regardless. You either like it or you don't. And either way, guess what? That's your problem, Pooh. That's a personal problem. It's a personal problem. You don't need to worry about how I wipe my butt, because, baby, when we do a hygiene, if you really want to do a hygiene test, I bet you, with long nails and all, I bet you I will win every time against you. People be asking some silly stuff. And people never ask me personally, like, well, how do you wipe your butt with your nails? A lot of people be having no nails. They be having nubs like this and still have. And I honestly, since I've been wearing my nails like this, I realized these nails get more dirty than the longer nails for me. Like, so when people be saying stuff like, oh, how do you wipe your nails? How do you not know how to like wipe your, if you don't know how to do stuff with nails, then maybe nails aren't for you and you're trying to do something that is not for you. A lot of y'all don't have, not a lot of y'all, but a lot of women don't wear nails and you still can't properly wipe your butt. Y'all sleeping with men who don't wear nails at all and still be having dookie stains. I can do a whole hygiene video because hygiene, I'm A1 in that category, baby. But ultimately, you need to be wiping till it's clear. Wipe that booty till it's clear, and you need to be wiping with some wipes. Wipe with some wipes. Buy wipes, wipe with the wipes, and don't flush them down the toilet. Period. And another tip, use a different washcloth every day. If you want to have some A1 hygiene, we probably gonna have to just do a different hygiene video. I've done a hygiene video before, but to have that immaculate fresh scent, you need to stop using them stale rags every day. If you use that rag, I mean, the way my brain processes it is, if I use that, if I was dirty, if I just went running or just had relations and I'm dirty and I'm sweaty and I'm like, if I wash up with that rag now, if I take a clean rag, put it on a dirty body, that rag is now dirty. So why would I come tomorrow and wash up with that same dirty rag? The rag is now dirty. So how am I going to get clean one day, the next day, with a rag that was already dirty from yesterday? So I don't play that using the same. And all my kids, we use new rags every single time we wash up. I don't switch towels every day, but I use a new rag every single day. We switch towels every other couple days. I might use that towel about a good 3-4 days. Shoot, maybe even 5 days. Don't even get me. But my wash rag, I'm clean on the surface. And you don't have to have all these scents. Like, I feel wash with, because you having all these scents is not going to make you smell fresh. And that's one thing that, I ain't trying to toot my horn on that, but that's what I've had dudes say. Like the way they use the word fresh, it said you smell fresh. Even my second BD, he was like, when we took a shower together, he was like, I saw that you was washing your ears. And he was like, dang. He was like, because he was like, I know you got my daughter clean and everything. I know you, I know you good. I trust you with my daughter and all of that stuff. Like, he was like, because shoot, you even made me start cleaning my ears. He said, I saw you washing your ears. I was like, oh, she washed behind her ears. She washed everything. She washed everything. And I even teach my daughter that you have to wash every crevice. You have to get it here, in this crease, everything that has a crease, a denture, everything. You must get in there, baby. You must get in there. Get in every crease and crevice. I was laughing because I didn't even, and he actually told me this a couple months ago when I had talked to him, and we was talking about that, and he was like, shoot. I was like, oh, you clean. You wiping behind your ears and stuff, all of that. Like, so even with him, I used to be like, you need to use a new rag because I don't like that. Like, you can't really get clean using the rag from yesterday. And you can't say that you don't got no money for it. If you got money to eat out, if you got money to drink, smoke, buy all these lavish things, all your tinkling ornaments, weave and nails, and you got money to buy some washcloths. You can get the 18 pack from Walmart that's how much it'd be, like $6. The price, y'all know prices doing up a little bit. But even at the dollar store, they got the $5 section. You can get you 20 rags for $5. You can get you, and you can have a new rag every day. If you like the thicker rags, that's on you. I don't really like the thick rags because I like the little scrubness from the cheaper rags. So that it like scrub your skin. But just, you want to be clean. You don't have to use all these fragrances. You're going to naturally smell good when you're just clean. The freshness. You're going to smell fresh. I have sensitive skin, so I don't use all that. I use my regular little non-scented Dove soap, my sensitive skin Dove soap. I put my coconut oil on, or my sweet almond oil. That stuff naturally has fragrant, like it has its own scent anyway. And stuff like that. So, and then as the bonus, then I put my my spray on, or all of that. So that's how you smell fresh. You don't gotta have all these different Bath and Body Works sprays and lotions and just coat and smell on top of smell on top of smell. You don't have to have all that. So where was I at? So it says, so she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So she take what she has, she take the little and she makes more. Or she takes the big and she invests. She invests in herself. She invests in things that's going to create an inheritance for her children's children too. She considers a field and buys it. She's going out scoping the land. She's buying land out here because she knows what she wants to produce in that land. She wants to be able to plant her own garden, grow her own food, because you grow the best food when you're planting your seeds, and you determine what the soil is and all of that. You do that. You plant your own vineyard. That way, your children and your man, you guys are eating non-GMO stuff that's not sprayed with all these pesticides, and stuff that's not causing these illnesses, because we know food is what causes illness. Food causes illness. The toxic foods that we eat, the processed foods that we eat, this is what causes illness. And you want to make sure your man can live as long as possible. And your kids, you want to feed them well. You don't want to feed them a bunch of fried stuff, a bunch of sugar, a bunch of stuff that only breeds and feeds cancerous cells. You don't want to do that. So this is what they're saying. She out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So she's intentional. She's intentional about everything that she does. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. So she makes sure that what she's doing, she's planning ahead. She's weighing the pros and cons of things. She's not just jumping doing stuff. She's making sound judgment. She's using discernment. She's thinking. She's not just doing stuff, she's planning ahead. Says she sees that her trading is profitable. She's making sure that for everything that she does, it provides value. It's going to provide return on her investment. Everything that she pours into, she's making sure that it's going to reap a good harvest. She's making sure she's not just gambling everything and just taking gambles. She's making wise, conscious decisions. She's intentional about what she's doing. She's studying. She's studious. What does it mean to be studious? That's what she's up at night doing. She's mapping out her life, mapping out the plays for the week for her family, how to make this more a productive week, how to get her kids to school on time, how to do this, how to get them what they need, she's setting up the plays. She's the coach. She the coach. The husband might be the player out there in the field. The kids might be the players out there in the field. They making the wins. But the coach, the good instruction and guidance from the coach is leading everything. That's why we say, like, the women really are the neck. The men is the head, but the women is the neck. You might be head of household as the man, but the woman is the neck. And without the neck, that head don't have no direction. And your man is going to lead because he should be able to lead. Everything that you do, he should be able to do that as well. There are things that, he might be short on because that's where y'all come in, piggyback off of each other. But he should have an overall vision. And as the neck, you should be able to provide him the resources to bring that vision into reality for the family. The vision that he has, you're supposed to be able to give him tools and resources so that he can make that vision happen for the family. You're the neck. You're coaching that head on which way to go. Without no neck, head ain't moving that much nowhere. You ain't gonna have that much direction. So having a good woman on your side, behind every successful man, there's a good woman. Whether it might be his wife or not, or his mother, or assistant, there's some woman that is there managing things for him. Why do you think successful men, they have they women as their assistants, executive assistant? Like, he tells her what to do, and then she makes sure that she makes sure the flow is there. Okay, y'all. So where was I at? So like I said, it says she sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. So a distaff, what is a distaff? It says a stick or spindle onto which wool or flax is wound for spinning. The distaff side, the female side of a family. The word distaff in time took on the meaning women's work and later woman. The noun distaff is rarely used in this way today, but the female members of a family are still referred to as the distaff side. So, woman's work. Okay, in her hand, she holds the staff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. So she's the helpmate. She does her part too. She has her duties that she do in the house. She might be doing the sewing, the knitting. She might be able to, she makes sure, like I said, the kids' clothes is on, her husband's clothes is on. He looks presentable. He might got an interview. She making sure his bow tie is. She making sure everybody else is on their P's and Q's. And this is why if you got a man that pour into you, it's easy for you to submit and pour into him because you're gonna want to. Like, I knew when I'm getting taken care of, baby. Yes, I'm packing your lunch. I'm massaging you. Like, they be wanting to be nurtured too. Like, you're a nurturer. You take care of them as well. I'm never gonna forget my when I because I'm big on lotioning my kids up. I don't like that ashy stuff, especially I have chocolate girls. I need their Godiva chocolate glistening like they daddy's sexy chocolate Godiva just glistening. And I just, even with me, I'm going to put on my lotion and stuff because I have dry skin anyway. So I have to, like, my skin will feel like it's cracking if I just get out the shower and don't put nothing on. So my kids are the same ways. And I remember when I first, when I first had my baby, my first daughter, and her dad used to be like, well, you don't lotion me up like that. Like, sir. But they be liking that stuff. So, all right, come sit down. Let me lotion you up and stuff. Because I can't stand, my second one, he used to do that be dry and stuff, like put some lotion on. Like you can't have this chocolate just out here looking dry. Put some lotion on. Even though in the sun, that chocolate get the glistening when they be just standing out in the sun, and it just be like, oh, I love me some chocolate. Love me some chocolate, that rich chocolate. Um, but yeah, they be wanting that too. Like they want you to put working on them, nurture them. Like that's what they want to. They be wanting to. They like that stuff, you know. They like the intimacy stuff too. Um, some of them they ain't used to affection, so they can't receive it when they get it. But when they get it and they know you provide it, they gonna be like, whoa, like because they are narcissistic, highly narcissistic people. They like that that how you feed them, how you stroke their ego, how you admire them, how you talk about how good their body looks, and you give them a massage. Oh, your nice shoulders, and they like all that stuff. They love that, you know. They show great, they're studious. So studious means spending a lot of time studying or reading. It also means done deliberately or with a purpose in mind. And it also means showing great care or attention. Also nurturing. Let's look up nurturing. I don't know why I didn't put that up here. To nurture definition. So what does it mean to nurture? It means to care for and encourage the growth or development of, to help or encourage the development of, to cherish. The process of caring for and encouraging the growth of development of someone or something. Upbringing, education, and environment, contrasted with inborn characteristics as an influence or determinant of personality. You know, so when you nurture something, you pour into it, you water it. You water it. You give it tender love and care. You know? Like your children. Just like them. No, they hit their little self, hit a little boo-boo, and they come, they just be wanting you to, let me kiss it for you. Oh, let me give me a hug. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, they love that. Oh, let me put a band-aid. They just like people just like being tended to. It shows you that they care. It shows them that you care. You know. So, you know, and even with that, like let's keep reading because I think it's about to talk about that in here. So it says, in her head, okay, we did that. So she's a helpmate too. She does her works around the house too, or she does her part too. All in all, she work too. Even as a housewife or whatever, you work too. You ain't just sitting around doing nothing all day, especially if you got them kids. You reading to the kids, you teaching them, you know, studying with them, you doing the homework with them, you pouring into them, you teaching them stuff, you teaching them other languages or whatever else you're doing. You're pouring into your children to help them grow. You're contributing to, you're nurturing them, like it said, which is caring for and encouraging the growth and development of someone or something. You're helping encourage them. You're pouring into them through words of affirmations, through your actual through actions. You're showing them, you're hugging them, you're kissing them, you're spending time with them. You're showing them that I see your colorings and drawings that you're doing. You showing your man that I see your hard work that you're doing. I see it, baby. I see what you're doing. Ain't pack your lunch. Let me write you a little love note. I might pop up on your head. Let me bring you some lunch today. You know, you know how I do them. They be like, let me bring you some lunch. Where you at? What you want to eat for lunch? I got you. That's why I like seeing a woman on here on YouTube. The lady be making her husband lunch and stuff. I think it's so cute, and then she'll be making some lunch for his coworkers too. I love that. It's so cute. You know, he out there working hard, providing. Yeah, baby. Come on, and then you bring all the money home. Come on, what you need? What you need? And you treating me good too, because it ain't just about providing. You're not treating me good, because you know, but you treating me good too, baby. What you need? What, baby? Lay back. Let me put my head up. What you? um, it says she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. You know, she's helping out. Like I just said with the lady, you're not only tending to your household, you helping out other people that's in need too, that's in distress too, in any way that you can. You know, um, when the workers come over to do work on the house, you're saying, "Hey, do you need water? Here's some water. Here, like what y'all need? I done made some cakes. You want some cake? Take this home to your own family." You know how like them old school grandmamas do? They want to feed everybody, feed the whole house. Well, I don't really know what that's like because I ain't have that kind of grandma and stuff like that. Um, but when I go over other people's house and I experience their grandmother, that's how their grandma is. Um, Okay, so it says when it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. So she's well prepared. She's prepared for what's to come. She's not only planning for today, she's preparing for the future. She knows that, right now we in between, the new season is coming up. She ain't waiting to the last minute to go out, buy a coat and all that. She's not waiting to the last minute to register her kids for school. She's not waiting to the last minute to do the things that is priority for her children to be conducive to their growth, to their stability, to her household, to her husband. She's making sure they have what they need. She's making sure she's planning ahead. When it snows, she has no fear for her household. She ain't worried. When the famine come again, I already been warning y'all, stock up on the stuff. When the famine comes, she ain't running out here all across the town trying to find toilet paper, this, that, and that, because she already got a stockpile. She already been growing food, or she already been stocking up on canned goods. She already been saving for her rainy days. She already been, working with her husband. That's why you gotta be with people that are equally yoked with you, that understand the mission, that understand the assignment. That is pivotal. That is so pivotal, you know. So they already good. She already then knitted up them, like they say. She got the wool and the flax and the staff. She's already then knitted up they hats and gloves, and she already prepared. She's already prepared for what's to come. She ain't gotta wait till the last minute. Like in Texas, shoot, today is 80. The past couple days have been 84 something, but just the other week, this couple days ago, earlier last week, it was burr outside. I'm glad I bought your coat and stuff. That's one thing about it. I'm always prepared when it comes to this. I like to get their stuff, especially because my daughter's size, especially the little baby, her sizes be gone. It's like everybody had them pandemic babies. So all y'all out here got babies that's wearing the same size clothes as my babies, and y'all be taking up all the stuff. And I don't like that. So it says she makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. So she making sure her bed is good. Her bed is made. She's clean. She's making sure it's washed. She's making sure her kids are sleeping on clean linen. Her husband sleeps on clean, fresh linen. That is comfortable. It's good for them to sleep in. It's clothes. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. She cares about how she's dressed. She presents well. She presents well, and she's covered. She's not showing every little ounce of her. She invests in quality. Like we saw, she says she get the wool and the flax and all of that. Her husband is respected at the city gates, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She has a well-respected husband. He ain't out here making her look bad. If you a good woman, you want a good man. You want an equally yoked partner. You don't want to be having a man that's known for him being out there doing all type of wicked, sinful stuff that's an embarrassment to you, because he's a reflection of you and you're a reflection of him, and your kids are a reflection of you and y'all a reflection of them. You're all reflections of one another. So what you do, it makes me look bad. What I do make you look bad. So I need you to be on your P's and Q's. I need to be on my P's and Q's, and together we on our P's and Q's, and ain't no stopping us, baby. Period. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. So she's tentative. She just nurturing. She's like the women at the well. They found their wives. Like when Lot went to go out there, or when he went to go find the wife for Isaac. I realized the pattern. They found their women at the well. The women who tended to the man and his camel or whatever the animal was, that she got the water, poured the water from the well and helped out. Even with Ruth and Boaz, they seen how, and even though she wasn't, she wasn't from the tribes of Israel, she wasn't from them. She was actually a Moabite. Ruth actually wasn't supposed to be coming over there, but she was loyal to her mother-in-law. She was still loyal to the fact that I have married your son. I'm loyal to him, and because I serve him, I serve the God he serves. Even though Oprah, the other daughter, that we'll do a Bible study on that. So be careful what you naming your kids out this Bible, because some of these people don't represent nothing good. Like Oprah, she was a Moabite, and we know about what they say about this other the known Oprah that we know. So she is giving you really are Oprah from here. You gonna turn to them foreign gods every single time, baby. You gonna turn to them foreign gods every single time. But even with Ruth, that's what Boaz saw. He was like, who is this woman? She's helping on the threshing floor. She's just really contributing. She's just doing what she can. She wants to help out. And that's what the women were seeing is, you fed the camels, you fed my animals with water. That's how they knew. I saw that as a pattern. I'm like, okay, the women by the well, they always by the well. They go find a woman, she's by the well, the one who nurtures him. She don't know him, but she gives him water, and she gives the animals water too, because they came from a long distance and they're thirsty, and she can tell that they in need. She's observant to the needs of others. She makes linen garments and sells them. She's resourceful. She know how to get a bag too. She ain't lazy. She makes linen garments and sells them. So the hard work that she puts in, she sells those things to bring some extra income. And from her income, what does it say that she do? She takes her earnings, and then what does it say? She takes her earnings and plants a vineyard. Where was it at? Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So it says, she is clothed, she sees what people are needing, she supplies. She sees people in need and she supplies. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She knows that there's up and downs to life. She's not holding on to everything from the past. She's not so anxious about what's to come. She knows that she's covered. She knows that I know the type of woman I am. I'm going to get through anything. My family, we're going to get through things. Everything ain't got to be so serious. I take things serious. I plan ahead, so I don't got to even be worried about what's to come in the first place, because I already done planned for the future. But even when those times come, okay, we can laugh a little. We ain't in distress. We ain't all so worried, because my planning, we're good. We don't have to be out here in a frenzy, scared, running like everybody else. So what else was it saying? She has morals. She knows who she is. She's strengthened. It says she speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. We said what wisdom was. Wisdom, being wise, is having or showing experience, knowledge, and good judgment, responding sensibly or shrewdly to a particular situation, having knowledge in a specified subject, alert to or aware of. You have intelligence. You use it. You have your discernment. You use it. And faithful instruction is on her tongue. She wants to give you words of wisdom to help you thrive, to help you grow, to help you become better, to help you sustain. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. So she makes use of her time. She's not just sitting around doing nothing, just letting her time get wasted. She's not a big time waster. She cares about her time. She values time. She watches over the fare of her household. So she makes sure things is in order. She provides structure and organization. Like I said earlier, she does that. She provides organization, structure. She's just not sitting around twiddling her thumbs, waiting on the next show to come on. She's making use of her time. She's learning. She's pouring into herself. She's pouring into her husband. While she's at home, she's making sure that she is just setting up her family to have a successful future. Period. Because that's what not eating the bread of idleness. Because like we said earlier, idle mind is the devil's playground. If you're too idle, you can get into things that you shouldn't be doing. You can easily let the devil come in and play around with your head and now get you to doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing and lead you off your straight and narrow path. And nobody, man or woman, idle time is not good. You should be doing something. Whether that's sitting around, and even when you're sitting down watching certain things, you got to be careful what comes in through this portal. Watching certain podcasts. You can't watch every podcast. What you need to be doing in your idle time, baby? Hello? You need to be reading this good old Holy Grail right here. That's it and that's all. Read this. You read any other book? I got a couple books coming today. I'm so excited for my books. I got a couple books coming today. I'm really just, I told you I'm starting my book collection, so I'm just depressed to be ordering books. And just, you make use of your time. Whatever it is you're trying to do with your life, even if you're in a certain field, you want to become the best at what you do. Because the better you become, the more money you can make off of it, the more you can help others with that, the more you can serve. If you're focused now, you're trying to focus on maybe I need to fix my credit. Maybe maybe you're working on trying to how to get more income. Maybe you're working on your personal development, your spiritual growth. So maybe you need to spend more time reading your Bible. Maybe you need to, if you're trying to figure out how to be better, good with money management. Maybe you need to order a finance book so you can figure out, okay, how to save money. What is the psychology of money? That's a book. That's one of the books I ordered, Psychology of Money. One of the classics, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you want to learn how to get out of that poverty mindset, this is what you want to do. You want to feed your brain during your idle time, not sitting around watching stuff that really does nothing for you, just watching drama, engaging in nonsense, watching everybody else live that life. No, pour into you, man and woman, especially in our community, because we are so behind. We are 400 years behind, baby. We don't got no time to be wasting out here. We want to set up an inheritance. What does it say? A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Okay? So you don't want to just be using idle time doing nothing, sitting around, scrolling on stuff that ain't really teaching you nothing. You want to use your idle time. You want to use your money and invest in yourself. Go to seminars, take courses, go back and seek more education. Even if it's just a course that's not going back to school, getting yourself in debt and all of that, but buy your own books, teach yourself, start reading. If you struggle with that, get a tutor, invest in yourself, invest in your family, invest in yourself, because when you invest in yourself, it benefits the family. Okay? So her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Her children admire her. They love her. They see her as their everything. They admire even her husband. She's well respected because of how pure she is at heart, how caring she is, how nurturing it is, how she just shows up. They appreciate her. It says her children arise and call her blessed. The way she provides, protects, nurtures them. It says many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Period. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. So many of us have some of these. Some of us might have all of these. We might do all of them. Some of us might do some of them. And when you do all of them, you surpass them all. Period. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. You put God first. You teach your children, your family. You have a prayer life. You lead with that. You have a husband that leads within that. Y'all are equally yoked within that. You guys both put God first. You teach your children about the Lord. You teach them these book of Proverbs. Sit there, start reading the book of Proverbs with your children. Give them some wise counsel. You set them up. This is what they need to be reading. This is what they need to be listening to in the video. What a good woman would do. This is why the Bible, your basic instructions before leaving Earth. Well, my little thing that's coming on, but Bible, Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. If we read this and take heed to it, baby, we will be winning. We wouldn't have so much calamity. We wouldn't have a lot of the stuff that's going on if we read this, had understanding, and diligently practice this stuff. This is why you have to, because it's so easy to go off the flesh. We are made of both flesh and spirit. So it is very easy to start to go off the flesh. Even for me, even for everybody that's, in these positions, like it's easy. You have to stay in this. This is the way you stay spiritually fed. This is what gets you the word, prayer, and fasting. Those are like the 3-in-1. That's the Holy Trinity right there. That's the Holy Trinity. Your prayer life, you fasting, which is doing away with certain things, doing away with the TV, doing away with all the music that's sending in these frequency, low vibration frequencies and distractions. And because what's that song the man was playing at the park yesterday? And I'm like, so now when I hear, ever since I did the music video, and even before, since I started talking about these portals and stuff, the music, you just hear different stuff. Like he was playing John B. They don't know about you and me. Get it out your mind, cause it's jealousy. They don't know. And that can be true to an extent, like we said earlier in the video. But when you have a toxic person that's saying all that, toxic men that's manipulating you, trying to say, oh no, don't listen to your friends, they just jealous. And the whole time you beating her up like a drum, and she's telling her friends and they trying to tell her to leave you, but you say, no, they just jealous of you. Or you disrespecting her and you know not, they just jealous of you. And they just jealous of what we have. They don't know what we have. You can't let that stuff, that's why you can easily, this is why the women been stuck listening to all them songs and stuck in a relationship. Oh, they don't know what we got. Girl, you don't even know what you got. You ain't got nothing. It's a bunch of trash. A trash relationship, struggle relationship is built on not a solid foundation, built on lust, built on empty nothings. No, they do know what you got. You got nothing, like but you're holding on to that empty nothing, praying that it one day becomes something, and it's giving very much nothing. So no, stop listening to some of that stuff. That's why when I heard the man playing at the park, because they be up there at the park. Like I don't think the guy's homeless, but he's always up there. He sits at that little table. But the guy, he was playing that song, and I'm like, I like that song. My mom used to always play that song. I love me some John B because I know my mom used to play the John B. And that also reminds you why you stand in these goofy situations. So they don't know what we got. What the heck you got? Nothing. Nothing. Stress. That's it. But that's the Holy Trinity. Fasting, praying, and the word, you gonna get fed every time. You fast. And fasting means doing away with stuff, abstaining from sex, being virtuous. What they say, being virtuous, practice celibacy. Chase, that's what chase means. Abstaining, well, chase was a part of being virtuous. And chase is abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse, not having any sexual nature or intention. So fasting from that. It ain't doing, like I tell you, pay attention to how you feel after you do this stuff. Pay attention to what it's doing for you. How is it distracting you from what you should be working on, from what you should be working towards? There's always something you could be working on, whether you're working on your mental health, whether you're working on your spiritual health, whether you're working on your financial health, whether you're working on your physical health by, reading books that teach you how to live to eat. So I got to finish reading this, but reading stuff, watching Dr. Berg and the black guy, what's his name? I'm subscribed to him on YouTube because I love seeing black people in certain spaces because we need more of this. We need more doctors. We need more OBGYNs. We need more of us. Everybody can't be an OnlyFans girl. Everybody can't be an IG model. Everybody can't be, we need people in these positions because we all need to go to the doctor at some point in time. And we know what's going on with our people within doctors. We need more midwives. We need more doulas. We need more women Black women that can deliver our babies, so that we know that we're protected by our own people, because we know that the agenda behind these women with these hospitals like to do to Black women. Because we the chosen ones. We are the Hebrew women. So they don't want us to be able to rear these children, rear healthy children, remain healthy for them. They don't want that. We the Hebrew women, baby. But charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So charm is deceptive. Being fake nice, you can be assertive. You be assertive as a woman. It ain't just to be saying like this woman is just super passive and she's super just easy. She's assertive. She knows who she wants. She's not settling for anything. Like I said, she's noble, meaning she has high standards. She's not just going for anything, not even with her husband, not with the people out on the streets, but she's kind. She's kind to everybody. She's not treating the waitress no less than she's treating the president. She's not treating the janitor no less than she's treating the king. No less she's not treating the waitress any kind of way, because it's the waitress, and I don't feel like you deserve a certain type of respect or something. I can't stand people that are rude, especially you rude to the waitress and stuff. Like, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be rude to people and all of that. Like, you don't have to be that. But you don't have to fake like you just super nice to everybody. And, you don't have to put on fakes. You don't have to put on an act. But you can be kind. You don't got to be overly, like you just overly giving and that. But you look out. You do. When your heart is telling you to do something, you do it. When your intuition is leading you to, help that person, pour into that person, you do it. And beauty is fleeting. Beauty is vain. Don't get caught up in all the tinkling ornaments. Don't be so worried about how the external look, but yet your insides are suffering. As surely as you are making sure this outside look good, everything is picked and plucked and tucked and laid and slayed and dyed and lit and polished and sculpted, make sure the inside you're working on that as well. Make sure you're working on your kindness. Make sure you're working on having patience. That's one thing I've really been learning in this season, because you got to be patient. Patient with your children, patient with these men, which I don't got much patience for them. Close up, boy, I'm going to give you some distance and I'm going to be patient with you from there, but you're not going to be carrying on all crazy around me. It's not what you're going to be doing. Sorry. Not sorry. It says, honor her for all that her hands have done and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. So talk is cheap. Be about that action. With your actions is going to show everything. Let the work speak for you. The way you carry yourself, the way you present, the way you are in the house and outside the house. Not showing up like these narcissistic women. They show up to the world like they're just so helpful, so loving, just so full of, just because they want the camaraderie and the respect from everyone, and they want the status and the excessive admiration from everyone. They show up to the world as this, but behind the scenes, you mean to your own kids. You neglect your own kids. Don't be like that. So make sure you're not just selling facades, basically. What you are is who you present to the world. Make sure that's who you really are on the inside at home, with your kids, with your partner. Be real, be authentic. So this was a long video. This was a great video. I hope y'all really got something out of this video. My baby keep coming back and forth in here. She's, we need to run out here. It's 12:11. I don't even mean to make videos that long sometimes, y'all, but it just get long because I get to talking, and it just get to flowing. And I just like breaking down stuff. I'm very analytical, and I just feel like we have to break stuff down. That's why I like doing my videos like this, because it's not just reading the scripture. It's understanding what the scripture is saying. It's understanding what each word in the scripture means. So this is why we will do definitions and all that stuff, so we know exactly what this stuff means that we're reading, and that we read it and get in the full context of it, not just what make us feel good and all of that. So she having a fit out here, trying to put her own clothes on and all that. What? Those shoes are too small. That's why they're not fitting. Go, where's your other shoes? Ciao. Let me go. I'll see y'all in the next video. I hope y'all got something out of this video. Deuces.